we're going to take these laser cut bats that we've made, and we picked out a variety of different colors where if you are following any of the current Halloween trends, there's a really big push for that more like retro vintage pinks and oranges. So we're going to bring all those in today to do the bat wall.
Let's jump right in.
Let's go.
Ready? I'm Bale with Just One More Project.
And I'm Chelsea with Houston Acrylic.
If you've been following along with the Laser Craft Fest, you may have caught a workshop all about heat forming acrylic, taught by Chelsea. And ever since that workshop, I have been so incredibly inspired to tackle a bat wall in my home. So I brought on the best to show us a little bit about how to do that today. So Chelsea, what are we going to do today?
For today, we are going to make a custom bat wall out of 1/16 acrylic sheets. We're going to take these laser cut bats that we've made, and we picked out a variety of different colors where if you are following any of the current Halloween trends, there's a really big push for that more like retro vintage pinks and oranges. So we're going to bring all those in today to do the bat wall. And the really great thing about acrylic is it is a thermoplastic. So what that means is it does respond to heat and can be shaped and molded with heat. So you might hate it being a thermoplastic because when you put it in the laser and you're applying heat to your cuts, if your settings aren't just quite right or your masking's a little bit off, you can get that like flashback or hazing look on the surface of your acrylic. But once you get all the settings nailed down, you can play with a heat gun and apply heat to your acrylic sheets to shape and mold or bend them into any of your desired shapes. On Laser Craft Fest, we did a demo on how we use these techniques to make a bow. And today we're going to take that same technique with a heat gun, apply it to these bats, give the wings a little bit of shape so it looks like they're literally flying off the wall, and see what we can come up with.
All right, so during this video, you're going to learn how to do the actual heat forming process for the bats, and then you're going to watch us apply it to the wall and get it all ready. So let's jump right in.
Let's go.
Okay, so here we are. We have everything set up. We are out here with quite a few bats ready to go. We've cut these out using 1/16 acrylic in 4 different colors? 4 to 5 5 different colors, and they are so fun. So let's talk a little bit about what we have set up here at this table so that you guys can make sure that you have this kind of setup before you get started.
So what we have on this table is we have our heat guns. These are just standard heat guns that you can get from any hardware store. You can get them on Amazon. You just want to make sure that you have a heat gun that can get at a pretty decent heat. Bale has one that has select temperatures on it, so she knows that she can get over 350 degrees, which is at least what you need to be able to get the heat gun to start bending acrylic. Mine, it doesn't have exact temperatures, but it does reach over that temperature when I have it on the high or the low setting.
Can they use a blow dryer?
I have never used, I don't think a blow dryer could get hot enough.
Okay.
Unless you have a very, very hot blow dryer.
Yes, probably not. So that was one of the things that we need to make sure, that it has to be a heat gun that goes up to about 350.
You want it to be able to go over 350. And then we also make sure that you have proper protective gear. We have these heat resistant gloves. Mine are from a hardware store. I think Bale's is from
a curling iron.
Curling iron. So
you don't need to go out and buy all these things. I had this like in my bathroom drawer.
And then we have all of our pre-cut bats. For any of your heat forming shapes, you want to make sure that you take the masking off before you apply any heat. Leaving the masking on while you heat it up can result in causing some areas of like that flashback or those ugly markings on the surface of the acrylic. So make sure all the masking is off before you start the heat forming process. When you're working with the bats, and different than other like heat forming projects where it just might be like a bend for a retail sign or display sign, this is a little bit more organic. We're not using a certain mold or a certain shape. We're heating it up and then bending it to give it dimension just with our hands. So for the larger bats, you're going to want to take your heat gun and hold it about 4 to 6 inches away from the surface of the acrylic. You want to move it over the area that you're looking to bend. You don't need to heat up the entire bat. That would take a lot of time and be a lot of wasted effort. So for these bats, we're really going to try to put a bend towards the base of the bat and then upwards towards the tip of the wings. So we'll work on heating up one wing at a time and just focusing the gun, again, 4 to 6 inches away while it starts to heat up. When the wing starts to droop, you'll see it start to droop as it gets hot. That's when you know you can start the heat forming process. Depending on the heat of your gun, depending on the surface area, that might take anywhere between 90 seconds to 3 minutes, give or take. If you're using 1/8" acrylic instead of 1/16" acrylic, it's going to take longer as well.
Okay, and we also have to make sure that we have enough space in the middle to be able to put our adhesive strip that's going to be sticking on the wall.
Yeah, when you're working with the bat, you're not going to want to fold it, like you're not going to want to give it like a complete curve, like fold it around your finger. What you'll want to do, and we'll show you this once we have it heated up, is I tend to hold my finger like flat, and then I bend the wing so the base, the main body of the bat is flat. We can put the heat adhesive on it, and it'll be able to be flush against the wall.
Yeah. Okay. And so, like you said, this is 1/16, and that's why it's getting a little bit floppy quicker.
I might even bump up.
Yep, let's do it.
So Bale has the fancy one, so I can bump up her power a bit.
I don't really know what I have.
So I'm going to bump up her temperature just a tad to see if that helps with the speed. We're up to about 1350, and we're going to see how this one goes. With a lot of the acrylic, you can start heat forming it. Like I said, I think it's about around 350 degrees where it is malleable. But again, that's going to take a lot more time, and we're dealing with kind of larger surface areas. So we're going to bump this up, and as long as you're keeping it in a constant movement and you're holding it far enough away, you shouldn't have any issues with that much heat causing any markings on the surface of the acrylic.
Ooh.
Oh, we're starting to get it.
I see it.
So you can kind of tell, and if I start to bend this, there's like that malleability there. We're going to just go a little bit more, just so we don't, because I can tell there's still some tension, not where I want tension.
And if you try to form it without it being malleable, you could snap it, right?
Yeah, it'll snap. Okay, so how you can tell here is I took a little bit too long to put the heat gun up and get to it. So when I'm going to shape this, so you can see it's starting to give me some like pushback. And if I kept going, it'll snap it. So that's fine. That's not the end of the world. All you're going to do is just start reheating. When you do reheat any part of your acrylic, even if it's been partially formed, it is going to lose part of that form again because it's going to get floppy.
So one of the things that we wanted to test out is what happens when you want to get your bat set is you can dip it in a bowl of ice water. And so here I am getting this one kind of ready to mold, and then we're going to test out how quickly it can set using an ice water bowl.
Because otherwise what you need to do whenever you have the shape is while it's still cooling off, you want to make sure you kind of hold to maintain that shape or it will fall back in on it itself. So one of the options is to take a bowl of ice water, dip it in, and that will basically kind of immediately set it. So we're going to give that a shot with Bale's little bat.
Okay, so I'm going to give this to you to mold. And I'm getting a little closer because I'm getting agitated.
Just getting impatient.
Here we go. Here.
All right, so I'm going to really quickly start to shape this. And then while it's still setting, I'm just going to dip that wing into the water for a couple seconds. Bring it out. And it really almost did like an instant set. So if you are okay with having some cool water and you don't want to torture your fingers too much even with the gloves by holding it, you can use the water and kind of get through that process a little bit faster.
Okay, so Chelsea and I have got quite a few bats done. I think that took about 30 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, give or take.
So since we had both of us going, it was quite fast. So now what we're going to do is we're going to show you the adhesive and get it on our wall. So hang tight and we'll show you what that looks like. There you have it. We went from taking a flat bat like this and turning it into
a flying bat like this.
Oh my gosh. So I hope that you enjoyed that and really got an understanding of how simple it is to heat form acrylic and use it for your decor projects around your house. If you liked this kind of workshop where we walked you through step-by-step how to tackle a project like this, consider learning more about Project Members, which is our monthly workshop that walks you through a project just like this every single month. If you want to learn more about the acrylic.
Yes, all of the acrylic that we use in today's project you can find at HoustonAcrylic.com. For this specific project, we focused on 1/16 acrylic sheets. The colors we used were black, pink, hot pink, orange, and tangerine. You can use any colors that you want, and you also are able to heat form with 1/8 acrylic, but if you're looking for speed and efficiency, the 1/16 acrylic is going to be a lot easier and faster to heat up and bend. But you can find all that at Houston Acrylic. And also, if you want to learn more about working with your laser and laser-friendly materials, consider joining Laser Ed with Houston Acrylic on Facebook.
We've got everything linked below for you, so we hope you enjoy this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.